Good evening and welcome to Roundtable.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hello.
As always, we want to start with a little bit of fun. I don't get to do as much fun in Roundtable as I used to, but please remember that there's plenty of skits, audience participation, where parts the audience has different parts or sounds or something, songs, all kinds of stuff. Because I think every meeting should have a fun part. So here's the one for this. Oh, and the motto is Kismet. Everybody knows what Kismet stands for. Keep it simple, make it fun. All right, so the fun part of tonight is as I was getting ready for tonight, with all the construction in next door or something, I've learned that if I stand in exactly the right place, you can hear an echo. All right, I'd like to demonstrate. Hello? Hear it?
It's amazing.
Yeah, but I skipped lunch, so I'm going to demonstrate a little bit more. Bread. Cheese. Bologna. Something must be broken in the echo. Bologna. I guess they closed up that thing. Well, I'll try one more time. Peter.
Working again.
So with that, I get to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Sean Faire, and I'm going to talk about leader succession plans. And I volunteered to do this at the beginning, at the last planning meeting, and I thought to myself, why am I doing this? I have not had a documented succession plan in any unit that I've been a part of. What is the first step to solving a problem?
Awareness.
Awareness of the problem. How many people have been through this? Well, my kid is moving on. This is my last year. Anybody interested? 6 months later. Anybody interested? 1 month to go. Anybody interested? And then the leader is thinking, hey, my kid's moving on. I want to move on with him. Doesn't anybody want to help? And all the leaders are thinking, what do we do? And then my succession plan, my succession experience was some of that whenever I was in the troop with my son. But when I started with Cub Scouts, there was a career Cub master at the pack that was at my church. And so I came in, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I got a career Cub master. She's been here for 30 years. This is going to be great. I can just help. And then she passes away.
Oh,
So I had let slip that I was an Eagle Scout. So guess what? Hey, Sean, he's an Eagle Scout. He can do it. So that was a weird succession plan. But we don't want to have successions like that. We don't want to have successions like this. Hopefully. So again, awareness is the key. Here's what I pulled from the documents that I did research on because I never had a written succession plan. Why is the plan important? Continuity. So if you want to keep things moving, then you got to have a person to take over for the person before, and then things keep moving. You want to keep achieving your goals, keep it moving, keep her moving. Development. Succession planning provides opportunities for leadership development. Everybody likes development, right? Skill building, training, mentorship. I learned so much about the outdoors because when I was a scout, my outdoor experience was the Scouts. My parents did camp. So advancements and outdoor development. Risk mitigation. That last thing is the ultimate risk. Who's going to be here next year? That's stressful. And then engagement and motivation. Involving leaders in the succession plan makes them aware and makes them more motivated. Oh, and here's item 5 and item 5. Distributes the workload. How many people had a widely distributed workload in their unit? And I like this one, supports the boy-led method. It models the boy-led method. So a strong, consistent base of adult leadership and developing leaders is going to help the leaders develop scouts. Boy, I wish I had done this. How do you do it? This is what I've been told. Identify the key leadership positions. This is like the classes I took in, my master's is in teacher leadership. So this is like identify the leadership positions. Find out what you got to have. The critical ones, at least, because I'll show you later, there's a lot of them. I don't know if they're all going to be filled. Assess current leadership team. Evaluate strengths, skills, and experience. I don't know if I would do that, other than, please help me. Identify potential successors. That's the one that I'm going to talk about probably the most. And provide training and development. Offer training, mentorship, make sure those development opportunities are there. And the celebration part, I think that's on the next slide. Yeah, celebration is the next slide. So we got all my numbers messed up, but we got established transition plans. Develop transition plans, outline the steps, ensure they are documented and communicated, put them on the agenda for every committee meeting. Talk about them. Everybody can be a part of a succession for their role, whatever their role is. Everybody can be a part of that succession. Review and update regularly. Promote always good. Communication is the key. Promote transparency, communication. Make sure everybody knows that they're what the plan is. Get as many people involved in finding people as possible. And celebrate. If there's one regret I had in that Cub Master position that I inherited, it was me and a couple other people doing most of the committee work, and I was so busy planning all the fun stuff that I didn't celebrate the leaders as much as I should. So we talked about leadership awards in one of the previous meetings. Don't forget that. Don't forget that stuff. What are some tips? Develop a pipeline, mentor, coach. Try to get somebody in an assistant or a co-position. It was. Oh, okay. Welcome and develop a pipeline. Pair leaders with people who are less experienced. Make sure that they have role models to work with. The ideal thing would not be to have them spend the next year doing it themselves, figuring it out themselves. By training, we talked about the training that's involved in a previous roundtable. We talked about the awards in a previous roundtable. Involve senior leadership. I've made it clear to, we just had a succession in the troop at Bartlett. And I made it clear that even though I volunteered to be treasurer, so I didn't have to be scoutmaster, I would help. And everybody who is still involved in our organization has their kids come through, and there's a board of about 8 or 10 people that could help and make them aware. Anybody who's alumni from your unit, make them aware. Maybe they can come up with some ideas. Review and adjust. Regularly update the plan as it changes. Foster a culture of growth mindset. is the educational term. So always move forward, always figure out what's a better way to do it. Don't get stuck doing the same things over and over and over again, unless they work. And then throw in some new stuff. But growth mindset, very important. Consider term limits. Yeah. Especially with troops, I mean, we had, I guess a term limit would have meant that I wouldn't have inherited that Cub Scout pack, but that's something I don't want to dwell on. Family talent survey. I've handed out a lot of family talent surveys. I teach statistics and I haven't analyzed a lot of family talent surveys. So I could analyze one better if you want me to analyze it for you. I could do some spreadsheet work for you. If you do have a family talent survey, figure out how to make that transparent and communicate that out, because sometimes that gets buried. Identify and approach prospects personally. That is probably the number one, in besides being aware of the problem, probably the number one thing to remember is to talk to people one-on-one. I think the next slide has start small, little task asks. Say that 5 times fast. Get new uncommitted parents into small roles, get them going. What's the other thing? Oh, ask the busy people to help, because the busy people are the people that will help. And then ask the not busy people for the small little bits of help, and maybe they'll come in. Offer shadowing or assistant or even co-positions. I got to take my kid through Cub Scouts in that Cub Master position with a friend of mine who I went to Scouts with when I was a Scout. And then he had a kid that was the same age as mine. And so we got to be basically, I mean, I took the title, but we were, co-Cub Masters. And emphasize training. We talked about training. We talked about celebrating. Document, which I never had, and regularly review and celebrate the people that are in your unit, however you do that. All right, here's where I ask for a little help. Anything that you would like to add? Yes.
More of a question. We have a variety of different representatives of different units here. Is anyone executing this and these ideas?
Oh yeah.
Currently?
Oh yeah.
What's working, what's not working?
We had another roundtable on succession plans and a couple of units here. I'm sure they can speak for themselves here. We're had succession plans in place.
So it's kind of like I was a leader for all of like a month and a half in Cub Master. So great. I'm so thankful that John, the previous Cub Master, staying on as committee chair, which we haven't had for a while. So he's still a T3, but so that has become kind of our succession plan, is we're helping each other get through the succession, the planning, and the plan now is for me to get one together as I am becoming the Cub Master. And I think that's been, stressful, but luckily I've been a leader in, other areas, so it's kind of easy to transition. And I'm definitely leaning on a troop a lot. We've had a bunch of leaders come from troop over to help the pack out, which is fantastic. You guys do benches? I think we're getting our first bench sheet. And I'm actually, because we are a little thin in the older kids, I'd rather have more adults that fix certain guns so that when it comes next year, we're ready. And I don't want to be afraid of I don't even care. Like if we have more leaders than kids at some point, That's not a bad thing.
That
That's not a bad thing. 'Cause I think leaders are harder to get for the kids.
would be a thing that I have not seen in a long time. So
Yeah.
Get that
so,
going.
I mean, I don't think we're
More
at
power
that
to you.
point. We've got a pretty darn big lion den and growing tiger den. And, yeah, I think we're going to be doing well, but
Another part of transition is the different ways of doing things. I was committee chair for my troop for a while, and I planned half a year, and the guy before me would have gone 2 years if we didn't cut him off at a year. So I mean, there's different styles to consider. Anybody else have a succession plan? Answer that question. That they have, or that they continue to talk about at meetings. Any other units have a succession plan?
Let me ask this, but everybody here right now, think about 2 people after your unit that if you got input, who would you want? Think about everybody who you possibly meet. Who are 2 people that you would want to take over your board? And we would want.
Temporarily, of course.
Let's just put it this way, out at Philmont, the other adult was very careful to make sure I did not fall off a cliff. That was his succession plan.
But you have to think about it. Because that's what we do in our group. We've always planned out at least a couple of years at a time, knowing who's going to take over the position and kind of get them into their role of understanding that, yeah, you're going to take it over. So watch what I do. Maybe at this event, you do this versus self doing it.
And you can do it your own way, but do it,
And it is.
get it done.
It is a personal conversation because I myself have, as the committee chair, have sat there and listed out all the roles that were available. Please come see me. And all I got was maybe one person. But you have to have that personal conversation with the folks that you think might be good for your role. Often ahead of time and kind of work it out. I mean, I do have somebody planned for my role. I mentioned this to you guys in February. That might be changing and I may not be happening, and that's okay. I mean, I've already got some other folks I'm thinking of, but for our troop, we plan far enough ahead and talk and kind of groom those leaders to understand this is what we're looking for. Are you still interested? And still checking in with them.
And we talk about it at multiple meetings, right?
We talk about it all the time. Check lots of people.
Good.
But we keep
It's better than
everybody,
cracking jokes about not doing it like I'm doing. So.
keep them involved all the time, whatever it is you're doing. And, maybe both of them will still be there when the time comes, or it could be that that person takes one role and one takes the other role. But you gotta think that far ahead into who might actually be for your role, because there will be times where all of a sudden that person leaves and they're not even there to be able to do that. Or it turns out that that person is not to do it and they can't do it. You gotta think of that. But I think you gotta plan that far out, almost to the point where as you get into the role, you need to start thinking how you're gonna get out of that role and who potentially could be there and that. And I think that's just, you have to have that honest conversation with your committee of, folks, in 2 years, I'm way west, I'm leaving my pack. It's 18 months, we're talking about 12 months, we're now talking 6 months. Hey, have you talked to anybody? For them, it actually took them, they was done. They were over to our troop, and they sat all summer trying to decide what they wanted. By the time fall came, they did become master. But, it was a constant conversation for 2 years of, some doubts. You have to have it, and that to sit and not have it, you're just doing a disservice to your youth.
Yeah, we sat there when.
I think I got somebody up here. Did you have some?
Yeah, just really quick on
Excuse
that.
me.
When you do bring an assistant on, make sure you get them registered in that position, because a lot of the recognition will say, like a cub master, like a unit leader. Or I think a unit leader says you need to have so much time as a cub master or assistant, being an assistant position at a cub master. So if you, like in my old pack, it was kind of like, oh yeah, just help out and do this. but you never get registered until later on. And then you might be, shortchanging the person for recognition purposes. So if you're asking them to do that work, do the due diligence to get them registered, do that. So that way, obviously you're doing it, but.
Yeah, you might as well. There's
You
no
may as
reason
well.
not to, and I think things could, now things can move a little bit, Scout Book Plus, making that whole process really run.
Yeah.
So take advantage of
We-
it.
One strategy we had was, all of the adults became assistant scoutmasters, registered as assistant scoutmasters. That's one way to do it. And then they were all registered and, could be trained and.
I think now the permissions are.
I don't know if you can do that anymore, but that's what we used to do.
The permissions were kind of like you can only be like one registered position now. We're kind of playing with that at our troop meeting last night. So if you're a committee, you can't be a committee and, you can't be both like a committee and a scoutmaster. Or a scoutmaster does events. So you have to be one or the other. So.
I think one of the.
Sandy, were you gonna say something or? Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
A lot of troops are struggling. So the adult leadership corps is, as far as the committee and it's kind of thin. So to try to come up with a succession plan when there's not a whole lot of new blood coming in, I think most troops are feeling that in some of our packs. So to then to even move forward with this would be great if you had 30 kids and 16
Right.
parents.
But one of the things I've learned just from putting this together is just bringing it up all the time. Helps with, the awareness that we need to, that needs to happen when it can.
I think all joking aside, some of these positions are treated like, not me, leper, that guy's got leprosy, leave him alone. Which is fine, I enjoy being scoutmaster.
That's wrong.
There's some people that you can go, no, that's not gonna work, that would never work. That could work, maybe. Some are very niched in their committee positions. They like that.
Oh, yeah. I like measuring.
Due to time commitment, stuff like that, to, upset the apple cart.
Yeah.
Could be devastating, so you have to kind of measure this against
Yeah, well,
personalities.
We're supposed to be developing a growth mindset so that there are no leprosy members of your committee, hopefully.
I'm fine being a leopard, leave people alone.
And you gotta have a plan in case.
I don't know.
Should
Have-
something happen to you. You're not-
Have to is kind of strong in my mind. You really, really should.
You need to have, it, whether you communicate. it
They're
or-
making sure I make my physicals. And,
Not falling off.
Falling off the cliff.
But all kidding aside, you gotta. You need.
Or the proverbial hit by bus, or the cub master could die. It's sad, but true, and something that you just need to think about.
Yeah.
I got carpal surgery, it was most minor surgery from weeks ago, and got sepsis the next day and was admitted to that. And 50-50 chance of making it. So and I'm young, relatively healthy dude, so it could happen to anybody. What else can mention about succession planning? Some of that even is the thought of, oh my God, there's less boys, this could end, what do I do? And I think what you said is important, talk about it.
Come here and talk about it at Roundtable. There's a lot of people here who have advice, who want to help.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of scouting alumni around. I know a few lifetime scouts that would probably step up and help if needed.
There's commissioners that will help.
There you go. So there are people, I'm sure, are around. And I'm sure there's other troops that say, hey, we don't want to see your 50 years of being a troop die here, let's learn together
Yeah.
and then be a troop together. Even if it's just to rebuild, so I think,
Whatever the plan is.
yeah, I think succession plan even means the inevitable.
Yeah, now, when Carol died and Sean took over as pub
Yeah,
master,
her name was Carol Cantor, wonderful person. She was so cool.
when my sons were, when my oldest was the first year we belonged, the entire committee at the Moon Gold Banquet said, this is our last meeting. We're going ahead with our boys in the Boy Scouting.
At Blue
And
Gold.
that's just with no committee and 87 boys. So we, thank goodness, Gordon and I stood up. He took 2 of the positions. I had 5 different jobs I was doing, but we made sure that when my youngest son left and we left with him, we had someone for every single block.
So many stories like that, but you try to do the small task asks and, or is it ask tasks? I don't know,
Those
one
are
of those.
really important. Those are really
Yeah,
important.
and get people involved so you don't have, in our little scouting profession here.
Yeah, I was burned out for about 5 years and now I'm back again because I got going again, so.
Glad to have you.
It does happen.
Anybody else? Anything else for the good of the order?
Really a question about that. That's something come forward for.
Well, as we presented, a lot of the trainings are online, whether you think that's as good or not is up in the air, but a lot of the trainings are online now.
It's still training.
It's still training. At least they get the knowledge. They may not get the advice from the person, and it doesn't make it as valuable, but at least they get the knowledge.
These tide them over until they get that in-person training.
And when they do take that online training, make sure they go all the way to the end and print the certificate.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it shows up as not having.
Is that still valid?
I would do that. I would all over the place.
If I see it show up in my scouting, and I'm good, but I shouldn't be, should I? Yeah.
I think it's really important to have these small documents here. My husband and I ran kind of doing this for years. And we'd always have a couple adults help string the house back and forth. And you would be amazed how many of those, because people just pick someone from the audience. And it was amazing how many of those ended up being committee members and cup masters.
And then I was her succession plan, and it's amazing how many people want to help with bringing in the track. And I mean, there's people who want to help out there. You just got to get them involved.
And give them something that's small, that's not gonna take a lot of time, and make sure you thank them afterwards in front of the whole pack. So-and-so help with this. Parents want recognition too.
Review regularly, update, make sure that you talk about it. At least talk about it more than I did. Yes.
Sean, I came in a little bit late. Did you talk about like individual ask? Did you
Yeah.
talk about that at the start? That's one of the most important things is,
Wait, where's the individual one? Dang, I had it here. Give me a second.
yeah, that's one of the most important things.
Personally,
Like Lori says, if you think about those 2 people or so,
To Amada.
you want to take your spot if you got hit by the bus. But if you, and go and ask them specifically, hey, Joe, hey, Jane, I think you'd be great. You've got leadership, skills. I think you'd be great as the next Cub Master in our pack, would you like to be assistant? Just go right up to them and ask them. You're not gonna be out there in front of everybody. It could be off on the side, could be before or after the meeting. But you kind of schmooze them a little bit saying, I think you've got great qualifications. I think you'd be a great leader. You think about, would you be interested in being the Cub Master? I think you'd be great at it. You could be my assistant for the next year, and then you step up. You just want to pick somebody who's got kids younger than yours.
is there anybody online who wants to say anything? We can hear you.
We're good.
No?
They're good.
Just checking.
You guys be quiet for a second. Hey, this is Tony Blaine. I'm the Scoutmaster at, Troop 544 in Pleasant Prairie. And everybody hear me all right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, wait, and we just went through succession, and I'm in the car right now, so I apologize for the extra sound. We just went through succession. I took over, early part of last year as Scoutmaster, but, I think it was a success in the fact that, the former Scoutmaster's still around. We meet occasionally, conversing. We recently replaced our committee chair with a new member, which is great. But the advantage we have is just having so many good adult leaders. I think I don't worry about, and I'm texting back and forth with somebody in the room there while this is going on. I don't worry about our succession planning too much, or if you say, hey, who are those names you would think about? I've got a long list, and maybe we're just blessed that way, but I think that's important. Getting as many parents and adults involved as leaders through the process. It's more important. I think we're going to have a bigger problem of making sure we get, the right people in there, and not necessarily always the people who want it. And that's another challenge we see. And I think that was the challenge when I came in with our previous Scoutmaster. Like there were some people who may have wanted it, but maybe didn't have the right leadership style or have that patrol method in mind. And then there's the other side of that, and making sure that it's somebody who one can trust others. And when we have the kind of adult group we have, I'm not painting the job as a Scoutmaster or the committee chair or any of these things as ultra difficult, because we have such great division of labor. And so I think more important than a succession plan is having that division of labor within your troop leaders and adult leaders. Because if nobody has to bite off too much, if the Scoutmaster's doing too I think right now in our troop, and I know there's several people in the room.
He's driving right now.
Oh. Well, I'll add to that, as well as divide the labor. If you have many adults that can help, it makes it a ton more fun. Taking my son through Scouts at Bartlett, and I met somebody who lived 2 houses away from me, and I didn't know him until we started Scouts, and he's still a friend of mine. And it's just all of those friends are still friends, and just having more people and hanging out with them is also a reason to have this kind of, to be aware of this stuff, because it's fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for your addition, Tony. Appreciate it. He's gone. He's driving. That's fine.
My pleasure. I'm in a bad spot on the phone here. Sorry.
Appreciate while we were listening. That was good. All right. So if there is no more, these worksheets will be with the stuff that we put into the cloud whenever we put this presentation and the other ones into the cloud. I have it linked there. I don't know why, because it's going to be in there. But anyways, look at all these positions we could fill. Look at all these packed positions we could fill. How many times have you had that many positions filled? Just something to end with. You gotta be aware and talk about it to make it happen. That's all I got.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay, yeah,
Quick promo.
do it.
Alrighty. Well, in case I'm gonna get up beyond time here, but anyhow, up front, you're by the cookies and everything and signing. The game of the month here, you can say, steal the bacon, blindfolded. How many ever remember about, anybody does not know what steal the bacon is?
That's the 2 lines, right?
You don't know what steal the bacon is?
There's others.
Oh, my God. Of course, you're talking about somebody who's been 60.
You're aging yourself.
Hey, and the information I got is from the 1950s. So the pictures are quite old, you know, as far as, so discount that.
The great Ings never die.
No, well, they don't.
They just get improved upon.
Okay, take a look at it, take a long, you know, this could be like with two patrols, inter patrol type of thing, you at least have two groups of people. First fun thing is still out there. And the special is rope making. This is a very simple thing the kids could do. And take a copy, bring along for your troop, yourself, rope making. I like electric drills myself, but anyhow. But this is something very simple, something that a craft that they can do maybe as a patrol or as a troop. So some nice ideas, old scouting ideas never die. They just get revived.
Now to get back. Don, I have a thank you certificate for putting on this great presentation for us.
Yay! That's what I've got to do. Thank you, Cindy.
Always give them recognition and then they come back. They like that.
Yeah, even if they're coming back anyways, they still like it.
Okay, the next thing we need to do is I'm just do a real quick update on what's coming up, activity and training wise for the council. There's a Cub STEM morning on Saturday. There's an AI and a Citizen of the World Merit Badge that's being held on Sunday, December 7th. Snow Sports Merit Badge is December 9th and 10th. Christmas at Odakota is December 13th. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen there, but.
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah,
Christmas Eve
stuff. I was just looking at the flyer online. It's like decorating cookies
Okay.
And Santa will be there.
there'll be a
Oh,
tree lighting.
Wow.
There'll be a tree lighting at Santa.
Oh, gotta go.
It's rad.
The Scout office is going to be closed on the 24th and the 25th and on January 1st. Game day at Odakota, January 4th. Our Klondike, which we're doing with Southern Shores, is on January 10th. Wilderness First Aid and CPR is being offered twice in the next few months, January 17th through the 18th and April 18th through the 19th. So if you need that for your going to Philmont or whatever, it's being offered twice. Scout office is closed on Martin Luther King Day, and the ice fishing derby is February 7th with the makeup. If it's too warm, makeup date is February 28th. That's upcoming event. You can check the council's website to get more details. Glenn, you wanted to say something?
Yes.
I've got you now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was cleaning out, since my troop folded a couple years ago, I'm cleaning out things. I've got 4 posters that I put up on the back wall there, the Scout Motto, Scout Lost, Scout Open, and some of the old merit badges. Somebody wants them, take them. I've also I got this to spice up your Court of Honor. If you want it, please take it. And I've got all the badge ranks here in a cardboard folder here for like Court of Honor. If you want them, please come and get them. They're right over here. So then I don't have to carry them.
Okay, next.
So when my son was in Weeblos, one of the things that we did before going up to an AOL rank was we did a Weeblos long term. So I don't know if a lot of people remember what the Weeblos long term would be. But basically I found 6 camps within Wisconsin.
How long is long term?
Long term is 4 days. It's basically you show up on a Sunday, and they vary, but generally you show up on a Sunday. You have 2 days of program. Generally, like when I did Ed Bryant, you did 1 day where you're walking like 7 different areas, and then the second day was complete open program. Go where you want or don't do anything, but the scouts, here's your map, go. So it's not like day camp where you're being walked around from place to place. The scouts are soon to be scouts, if you would, were basically experiencing what summer camp will be next year, if you would. So again, it's 2 days of program, and then the last day you're basically heading out. But like I said, it's six different camps. They're all scout camps. So it's not, this camp has like camping for all ranks. These are specifically for Webelos to go to camp. So I actually gave a copy of it to Sandy.
It is going to be emailed out to all the registered PAC leaders this month.
Okay. And typically what I found was the price was, we'll say, comparable to a day camp. So it might be a little bit more, give or take, but like when we went, again, as Webelo patrol, you're required 2 leaders. And at Bryant, they were not only were we doing leaders, but some of the units actually brought their den chiefs along with as well to assist. So in this sheet are the, I have the name of the camp, where it actually, I believe where it's located, a link to the website, along with all the information for program guides, tentative dates. 3 of them had dates already posted for next year. 3 of them did not, but there's the information to the camp with, and I had the last dates they had for last year, and as well as costs. So again, if it's something you're interested in, think about it for next year for your scouts. It gives them a different opportunity of things to do.
Can I ask,
Yeah.
since they're Cub Scouts, don't they fall under the Cub Scout rules, parent?
You can bring parents, but
Not
again, as
people
Webelo,
don't have to have a parent for every kid. Every kid doesn't have to bring a parent.
as a Webelo unit or
No,
Webelo den, they can do just like troop where they have 2 leaders, and they can go out camping as a unit.
yeah, they go out camping by themselves if they want to. Yeah, it's basically, Weeblos is that in between to teach them what it's like to be a Boy Scout.
So like I said, that's
Yeah,
That's
I'll be
available,
sending it out. We'll also put it up in the cloud.
Okay.
Bill, you had something?
Yeah, it just came in, but in Burlington, there is a Christmas parade this Friday. And we have scout units with sites, units reserved, for units 14 through 17. Parade lineup, so we'd be lining up, about 6 p.m. on Kane Street between Chandler and Highland Street on the east side of the road. And parade starts at 6:30 and step off, and group the units together and go through the parade. We typically have a trailer for the Cub Scouts to sit in, and it'll be decorated on Friday. But anyone who wants to participate in that parade, you're welcome to bring your unit Friday to Burlington. If you arrive at 6 p.m. and go on Kane Streets, we're on the east side of the streets, units 14 through 17.
Thank you.
So, any questions?
Anyone else have something?
The wreaths?
Yes, the wreaths are this Saturday. You get out there, ceremony will start at 9 o'clock at the cemetery. Hopefully it's not too cold. Afterwards, you can, I sent out the email as far as singing, caroling over at the VA. If you are interested in that, please sign up through the sign up Genius link. VA home is still a military type government run entity, so you will need to sign in when you get there. So if we've got a lot of folks tonight, they're just going to take a little bit of time. But once we get everybody together in that, they will go through the hallways to take about an hour and a half. We'll have some song booklets for everybody to take a look at, maybe a little freestyle, caroling. If you'd like, you can bring cookies along. Don't bring too many. Because actually the residents will not be eating them as they have dietary restrictions, but the staff. So, it's great. If you have you go, that'd be real great. If you can come right after the, reclaim ceremony. One thing to note though, if you or anyone in your family is sick, thank you, but, please, you know, that you plenty of compromise and do that live there, and that, we just prefer that you don't, at all. And it is Wade put in his post, just wave, you will pass on the home and that, but we prefer that you not attend that. Lastly, recharter, December 19th, they would really like you to get your recharter in. So please, take a look at that now. Make sure you got everything in order. Obviously, you don't have to worry so much about this year about getting all your members in there and going through that whole process. Just please take a look at it and get it in. And of course, we now have, National has finally posted, agreed and communicated that we have the pilot program. Fire troops has gone through, they've approved it. They are called family troops. For the 3 that are in our district currently, they will sign their intent, which that form should be out there by the 15th, hoping. And then we'll let your girls troop lapse, and then everybody will be in the boys troop, which then will become your family troop. This really gives anybody, any charter organization, you could have a girl troop, you could have a boy troop, and you could have a men's troop. Got enough scouts for that? Great, wonderful. But it gives everybody that opportunity to have whatever type of unit that they. Any questions about it? Yes.
So can we recharter as a family troop then?
Yeah, yes. Once you get that form, it's the intent that that's
Yeah.
what you move forward with.
Very good.
Anyone else? Okay, our next roundtable is January 7th. Our main theme is fundraising. We're gonna be talking about ideas of things that you can do to raise funds. We'll also have someone here from council to go into the rules of fundraising. So if you have any ideas, make sure you come along and bring them and share them with the rest of us. Is that it then? Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
Merry Christmas to all of you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks online, people.
Thanks, online people.